Hey folks, today I just got up to the land and look at that. The foundation is poured. Well, the foundation walls are poured and it looks really good. It looks like it was really well done too. So today, well, I'm gonna take you onto the inside of here and show you quickly. But today I have to put down this 2-inch high PSI foam and I'm gonna lay some PEX tubing and put some clamps down, and I'm gonna make my own radiant heated floor. Later on, what I'm gonna do is run probably a propane powered furnace down in the basement and then heat the floor, or I'll do like a wood fired furnace outside. So they prepared the base. Here's those 3 windows I was talking about. One right there, one right there, one right there. And so they laid down some rock to bring this up to level. And they're gonna, after I put the foam down, they're gonna pour another 4 inches of concrete, which will make it so that if any water gets in underneath the footer, then it won't get up to the level of the floor. We've tried to design this so that it's a dry basement. And so there's little things that we need to do like that. So here are the 2 drains that are in. There's one and then there's the second one. And those exit out of this pipe that's kind of beneath my feet. So this is what it looks like so far. It is awesome. And this is the height of where the cabin will be. I'm in the basement and I'm going to be putting these 2-inch foam panels down and then running this PEX. And then I'm going to take a bicycle pump and pressurize it to 80 pounds. With this foam, it's said that you're supposed to put it down. It has these little lap joints. And so you kind of lap them together with these joints, and then you duct tape over the top, and that adds kind of a vapor barrier as well as a way for, if concrete ever gets in underneath, or say around an edge and underneath, then this foam will float up through the concrete and then it will kind of ruin everything. So I've got to lay this down, duct tape it, and then begin laying the PEX. So the foam is in and it covers the whole downstairs. And this hole right here is for where the beam, this needs to be at a slightly lower grade because it's supposed to be a footer. And so what I've done is I've kind of cut this thing out and then dug this out a little bit lower so that this ends up being deeper. They're gonna pour 4 inches of concrete, so this will end up at about a foot depth. And so what I'm gonna do next is take this plastic and wrap it around here and let it kind of droop into this area. And that'll make it so that the concrete can't get up underneath this foam and then float it. And so that's what I'm gonna do next. Yeah, everything's going well so far. Right down here is the PEX being laid, and then there's the hole, and it's coming along. So what I'm doing is a big spiral at a 2-foot gap. Then I'm gonna come back in the center and then double back on it and then come back in the opposite direction down the center. So we'll end up being a 1-foot spacing. And this first spiral will be hot, and then the second spiral will gradually get cooler. So it should end up being that it's like a hot line and then a cooler line, a hot line, a cooler line, and then all through. So it should end up being real nice even heat across everything. So this thing is done. I tried to kind of have a bias towards the edges because that's where most of the heat loss will be. And yep, and then ran the PEX tubing up through these pipes and then kind of stabilized it with this. And then what you do is pump this thing up with a bike pump. You're supposed to pump it up to 80 pounds of pressure, and then put a PEX cap on the top. And what that does is when they're pouring what they're going to do is like take rebar and lay it down, and if they ever pop a line, there should be this big hissing sound, and so that's why you're supposed to inflate the lines before you lay rebar and pour concrete. Or if somebody stepped on it while they were, stepping around, stepped on the PEX and popped it, then you see all this bubbling up from the concrete. So here are those two drains that I was talking about in past videos. And then here's that outlet I was talking about that's for the sewage drain. And then here is that right there is the entry for water from the well. So this is how it looks. And then took this plastic bag, put it in there, and it should be great. Once the concrete's poured, then you won't see any of this anymore, but this 2 inches of foam is going to add a lot of warmth.